people who are good at protecting animals, protectors of animals. Yes, we are still looking at animal needs and freedom. And we want to say that I've moved a long way, and it has been a very nice time, handsome and beautiful to be with you. A very good audience that you have been, and I think I've enjoyed myself so immensely. This is the E-Learning Teachers Project Uganda Limited, and I am here as Teacher Baruli Aderi Enoch with you. There's no way you'll ever miss out when you are on the E-Learning Teachers Project Uganda. And each time we are discussing, we are looking at how to make sentences as we discuss. That way, we are learning to construct sentences. That way, we are learning how to use words with words. Look at how a child has used my name, talking about my buttock that had been bitten by a dog. So he has created a sentence. This is being creative, and by so doing, it becomes easy, my fellow teachers, for these children of ours to write compositions. They can describe issues, they can describe some happenings. They can also, when it comes to writing poems, they can compose poems. Yes, I was talking with Mr. Nsubuga this afternoon, and I was telling him that I asked one of my girls to make sure that she composes a poem. And look, she's going to compose it. And it's going to be about one NGO. Remember, some time back before we went for break, we discussed NGOs. Yes, NGOs. Yes, that one, they said, did we say that one is an acronym or an abbreviation, Musa? An acronym. He said she's going to write about a certain NGO in her poem. And then another girl is going to compose a speech. So children out there, always be ready to practice, because we always know practice makes perfect. It is all the best I wish for you. Please make sure you don't forget to remember to follow the media platforms that are indicated on that screen. The YouTube is there, all the information is there for you. TikTok is there, then WhatsApp is there. There are even lines, phone lines that are direct, where you can call and someone receives you and gives you information, the correct information about the E-Learning Teachers Project Uganda. I am and will ever remain Teacher Baruli Aderi Enoch. Let's meet after break. Please find me here. You'll find me right here. And opportunity than this one for us to learn English in a very interesting way. Indeed, I welcome you back to the E-Learning Teachers Project Uganda Limited, and my name has never changed, and of course will never change. Teacher Baruli Aderi Enoch with English language. I'd like you to remember that we are handling rights, responsibilities, and freedom. And under rights, responsibilities, and freedom, we are handling the subtopic animal needs and freedom. We want to really understand that animals for sure have needs. So whatever we are learning here is in line with animal needs and freedom. And we are looking at grammar. We want to complete this grammar, after which we shall dive into, we shall be like diving into a swimming pool. We shall dive into comprehension and then end up with composition. But of course, we cannot go into composition. We cannot delve into comprehension when we have not gathered enough grammar. And that is what we're doing. So we're handling grammar. I'd like to tell you, but that before we went out for break, we were discussing one piece of grammar where we were looking at, the past perfect tense. We looked at the past perfect tense, and we saw two events taking place, but one of them earlier than the other. And of course, if one takes place earlier, then the opposite of earlier becomes later. So the other one would take place later. It would take place later, and that is what we looked at. We said that the one that happened earlier, is written out and is mentioned, is communicated in the already tense. However, the one that followed the other, the one that came later, that came late and needed a punishment, the last event that came late and needed a punishment was indicated, was shown and painted in the past simple tense, which is the yesterday tense. We saw that. And I remember giving an example that I had already seen you by the time you touched my shoulder, before you touched my back. I had already seen you before you touched. Had already, the already tense, perfect tense, and then touched, which is the past simple tense, the yesterday tense. At this point in time, after our break, when we have been refreshed, I'd like to say that we want to look at something that is common, but in a special way. We are looking at number. Number has to do with numbers. Numbers have to do with digits. Digits have to do with counting. Number does have a connection to counting. So if you look at me, how many am I? How many am I? Of course, yes, Juma, how many am I? How many people are in me? Thank you. One person is in me, meaning that I am one. I am one and alone. I don't have any other person with me. Sometimes you see people with big tummies, tummies, pot bellies. And then you say, but isn't this gentleman supposed to be pregnant? Meaning he's supposed to have some other people in there. But gentlemen never become pregnant. They never grow pregnant, just like I can't imagine a gentleman growing pregnant. But our mothers did. And because they grew pregnant, they had people in them. So they were not singular, they were plural. Come on. I am singular because I am one. You are also singular because you are one. I am an individual, meaning one person. You are, each of you, an individual. Juma is an individual. Jane is an individual. Jennifer is an individual. Sarah an individual. And together you are many, and so you make up individuals. Individuals. An individual candidate gives you individual candidates. But one individual gives you individuals. So we want to count, but not 1, 2, 3 up to 1,000. No, no, no. We are going to look at one as opposed to more than one. Come alive. We are going to look at nouns, pronouns, verbs, that is main verbs, and auxiliary verbs mainly. The adjectives come in slow and they don't talk much. But we want to look at those 4 main areas: the nouns, the pronouns, the verbs which have 2, that is the main verb, and the auxiliary or helping verbs. Those 4 are the very parts of language which are connected to number. So when someone comes around the corner and says number in grammar, says number, he mentions number, not numbers, not numbers. This is not mathematics. We don't say numbers, we say number. When someone mentions number, that person is talking about singulars, individual things, and plurals, things that are more than one. Meaning one and more than one. Look, more than one can be 2. It can be 2.5. No, 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 no. 1 is 1. More than 1 can be 1.5. Okay. 1.25. That is more than 1. 1.1/8. 1.1/10. Anything beyond 1 is many. Anything beyond 1 is several. Anything above 1 is plural. Anything one, anything alone, anything individual is singular. And singular comes from the word. Which word does singular come from? Yes, Jeremiah? Single. Thank you, dear. Single. You can say, I did not find a single girl in the classroom. Well, where had they gone? Well, when I kept on asking, inquiring where the girls had gone, because I did not see a single girl, not even one girl, meaning there were 0 girls in the classroom, I found out that they had all gone for long calls. Now I got baffled. I got bothered and said, how come all these girls prefer to go for short calls and long calls together? Okay, I realized that girls enjoy going to toilet, for toilet, when they are escorted by others. For them, they move in plurals. They move in plural. Most of the time, you'll never see a girl going out for a short call alone. She says, may I go out for a short call? And then yet another one says, may I also? And then this one escorts the other. They are already plural. So anything beyond one, anything above one, anything added to one is plural. But one remains singular. Now, before we look at the board and look at the explanations, when a noun is counted, something added to it, then that means that it has to change. Most of the time, not all the time though. Most nouns change when they turn from singulars to plurals, from the singular form to the plural form, from the individual form, from the one form to the more than one form. Even pronouns. If you talk about he is a doctor. He is a doctor. Nothing but a doctor. Nothing more than a doctor. If you are talking about one doctor, then someone will come around and say, well, we need one doctor. And then says, no, we need more than one doctor. Meaning, maybe we need three. Three what? Juma? 3 doctors. You went to school and you have attended class. One doctor produces some other 2 more. Meaning that now out of, besides 1, we have another additional 2, making 3. So 3 are doctors. You can say, we need 3 doctors. Now people will laugh at you and say, what has gone wrong? What has he messed up with? So 1 doctor gives you 2 doctors. What about a teacher? Yes, Emma? Teachers, thank you very much. What about house? Aguma? House? Houses, thank you very much. What about shoe? 1 shoe? Shoe gives you shoes. Alinda, what about tree? Trees, oh good. Alinda again, if you have 1 tree and then you have another tree and yet another and they produce trees, what about, okay, 1 tree, 2 trees. What about a tree stump? Hey, I have you now. A tree stump, meaning a stump of a tree. I remember telling you that a tree stump is that part of a tree which, when the tree has been cut, remains behind as part of the stem, and it remains in the ground. We call it a tree stump. So if you have a tree, and you have more than 1, that turns out to be plural. So Alinda has said a tree gives you trees. Do not say a tree and then plural, a trees. People will say, what's wrong with my Alinda? Oh, what has happened? Oh, these things happen.